What's up, y'all? Devon here again for obligatory, bringing you the music news of this week, May 5th, 2023. And we're going to start off with some more concert news this time. Congratulations to Kendrick Lamar and his Mr. Morale tour becoming the highest grossing rap tour of all time. And really quickly, so we're all on the same page here about this term, gross profit. Basically the amount of tickets sold for Kendrick Lamar, the price of those tickets, and the amount of cities that he went to will give you an idea of the total revenue generated by this tour. Now, I don't know if this figure includes merch sales and other things like that, but it gives you a pretty good sense of the entire pie of money made before any of that has been split to this company, that venue, this artist, this manager. Drake's Summer 16 tour made about $84.3 million. His Aubrey and the Three Migos tour made about $79 million. Kanye and Jay-Z made $75 million doing their Watch the Throne tour. Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake, $68.8. Travis Scott Astroworld, $53.5. And Kanye St. Pablo, this is the only one I've actually been to, $52.8. Kendrick Lamar actually surpassed the $100 million mark, going to $111 million gross profit, which, by the way, is not even close to Jay-Z and Beyonce's On the Run 2 tour that grossed over $253.5 million. Now, admittedly, I was a bit surprised by these numbers, and when I think of sales and commercial value, I always go to Drake as the golden standard and having a dominance over this space in hip-hop, but I'm really curious what y'all think it says about these two, given that if they release a song or an album on the same day, that Drake's is gonna stream and sell more, but now Kendrick has the most successful tour between the two of them. Next up, we almost had Beastmode 3 in our hands until we realized that it was basically a hoax. The beloved mixtape series from Future and producer Zaytoven was announced on Zaytoven's Twitter with even like a video trailer for the album, announcing that it would come out today, May 5th, until shortly thereafter on Zaytoven's Instagram, he announced that his Twitter had been hacked and that he didn't post that and that there is no Beastmode 3. Now, the initial Beastmode was one of those mixtapes released in the legendary run of tapes that Future was doing with Monster and 56 Nights that eventually led up to the release of DS2. And yeah, it's not happening. Personally, I was almost a bit relieved because Beastmode 2 came and went pretty much when it was released, and it was okay, but it definitely doesn't live up to the namesake of the original tape. All right, the next story is an absolute W for vinyl sales. The sales reported from Record Store Day 23, which was a couple weeks ago, are being reported as giving indie stores the biggest boost in 15 years. 1.426 million vinyl records were sold in independent stores between 4/21 and 4/27 this year. And in that same week, 1.8 million vinyl records were sold across all stores, independent and online chains and beyond. Now, we got the story from Billboard, but the numbers themselves are reported by Luminate, a company that has been tracking record store sales for over 30 years. And basically, these numbers paint the picture that we have been seeing, that culturally, as well as just pure sales numbers, vinyl has been on the rise. And basically, in the post-millennial age, we have never been more excited and into vinyl as a music community. Also this week, we have Ed Sheeran finally beating the Marvin Gaye allegations. He was on trial for 2 weeks trying to prove himself not liable for copyright infringement for his hit song Thinking Out Loud, as compared to Marvin Gaye's big song Let's Get It On. Now, he was not being sued by the Marvin Gaye estate. He was being sued by heirs to the late Ed Townsend, who helped co-create the song. And it was found by a jury that basically the lyrics and chords and many tangible aspects of the songs are just not the same. I understand Ed Sheeran does not make everybody's favorite music, especially people probably watching our channel, and he probably didn't care too much whether or not he was held liable for this, or if he was gonna quit music based on being held liable for this like he said he may. But really, when you look at it, this is a W for artists, creators, and fans. This suit probably will continue to ward off other suits for other artists that we probably like and don't want to see get sued. So hip hip hooray for Ed. congratulations, and for us as well. This was an interesting story that surprised me. It concerns Brent Faiyaz staying independent and signing some sort of partnership deal with United Masters. Now, United Masters is a music distributor. It was launched by music exec Steve Stout, and it's been invested in by companies like Google and 21st Century Fox. Independent artists can get support from United Masters without doing a conditional record deal and without giving up a lion's share of their masters. And in many cases, they don't have to give up their masters at all. The specifics of Brent's deal with UM have not really specifically been reported in their press release, but it has been announced that he will have a creative agency within the company, which I don't know if that means he'll be able to sign artists through like a vanity label or if it's something different. But this is big news in terms of independent artists evolving as independent artists. And it does kind of continue to muddy the idea of what an independent artist really is. But there's no denying that this is a big deal in the move against the typical record label system, given that there were a lot of record labels that wanted to have Brent and offered him a lot of money, and he decided to do this. Next up, we got two stories that quite frankly make me very sad. The first is that possibly there's no more music in the Pop Smoke vault, that all the music he even thought of making or releasing in the 1 or 1.5 years that he was alive and famous, we've pretty much ran through all of that. This story comes from a fan posting their DM exchange with Rico Beats, who was a former manager and producer for Pop Smoke. And essentially, Rico is saying that there is no more music, that pretty much all of it has been used, and that 99% of it Pop Smoke would not have approved. Now, I do want to note that in this conversation, the fan is mentioning some snippets that have been circulated and rumored collaborations that just never came to fruition. So it's likely that the vault is not completely empty, but that's pretty sad. And to be honest, Shoot for the Moon, Aim for the Stars was one of the best posthumous rap releases I think I've ever heard. For someone who was definitely making their way to a mountaintop, this felt like a group of people close to them actually carrying that dream to the summit. But then they turned around a year later and released the Faith project and a deluxe on that. So 30 more songs that were probably even more obscured and less put together. This definitely makes me think of what will happen to artists who have been vocal about please don't release my music after I'm dead, like Tyler, the Creator. And, what kind of horrible dystopian future we may be in for as more popular rappers continue to die at an alarming rate and we continue to just make money after them after they die. Now that story pairs up nicely with this other story. It's sad, of course, to me, but Timbaland posted to his social medias that he's always wanted to work with the Notorious B.I.G. Now, of course, Biggie died around the time that he was just starting to get popular, producing for Missy and others. But now with the advent of AI music and the ability for people to write a song, perform the song, and then copy another artist's voice over, Timbaland was able to make this dream come true for him. Now, he posted a video of the song that he wrote with his beat and Biggie's vocals on them, and in it, there's like shouts out to Nipsey Hussle and Pop Smoke and Young Dolph. And, I gotta give him this. Tim does kind of acknowledge that there's a controversy around the idea of what this even is, but purports that he has a solution and something that's equally beneficial to all parties involved. This technology probably will not go away, and I think will be a very relevant part of music in the future. And I just can't help but think that the labels that are coming together right now to make sure this new technology isn't giving them problems today, tomorrow will not look at it as an opportunity to get some more Pop Smoke music back in the vault, or this artist or that artist, and continue to produce these records or finish songs that were never finished and then put them out. Okay, let's move into a completely different space of music here and talk about Caroline Polachek bringing out Charli XCX, Sudan Archives, and Weyes Blood at her LA show. Amazing to see. I would be so freaking excited to see all of them in one place. Let me know if you went to that concert or if you've been to another concert where they brought out a special guest. Who was it and how was it? And finally, in our last bit of music and film news, Moses Sumney and Halsey will have roles in an upcoming A24 film titled MaXXXine. This is the third film in a slasher trilogy directed by T.I. West. Kid Cudi's Mad Solar production company is also involved with this project, and Kevin Bacon and Giancarlo Esposito are cast in this film as well. There's a teaser trailer out for it right now. It doesn't show you very much, but that'll be linked down in our description. And That is it for this week's news, May 5th, 2023. Follow @Bligatory on Instagram, and you can check out our weekly survey of albums that we are reviewing coming up. We're still talking about Saba's Care For Me 5-year anniversary. We're also surveying y'all about the new Black Country New Road live album, live at Bush Hall, as well as the Larry June and Alchemist album, The Great Escape, the 10-year anniversary of Acid Rap by Chance the Rapper, and the 40-year anniversary of Power, Corruption, and Lies by New Order. If you have an opinion about any of those albums, you can send us a community score, your favorite tracks, or even a short review of any of those albums to the link we have down in our description for our weekly survey. But that's going to be it for me in the news this week. For Bligatory, I have been Devon. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next Friday.